What is up, y'all? It's your boy Nick, and I'm back with a son of a cartoons. We're here. We're talking about it. What is up, y'all? It's your boy Nick, and I'm back again doing another video. Y'all already see the title. As a kid, growing up in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, you've been exposed to a lot of things. Great music like Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, the computer, the first iteration of the iPhone. YouTube was just barely starting out. You know what I mean? PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox, I guess. You know what I mean? All this to say, one of the greatest forms of entertainment during that time, other than all those that I named, was for sure cartoon. Not just the standard Nickelodeon, the standard Cartoon Network, Disney Channel, but an array, all the channels. If you grew up like me with the basic channels, 1 through like 8 or whatever the channels were called, I don't know. You know, y'all know the Foxes, the CBSs and stuff. You also know that there was a bunch of great cartoons that came out during those times. Saturday morning cartoons were the antithesis of my childhood. Did I use that word right? Antithesis? But y'all already know what I'm about to say. I'm just saying we had a plethora, a grand prix of amazing cartoons. Now, y'all know I love cartoons, bro. Well, y'all don't know, but y'all will know. I have watched so many cartoons. Not as much as anime, but I would definitely say cartoons for sure are my love. I love cartoons. I can talk about cartoons all day if I had to. Therefore, also, this also leads to, if you want to have debates on cartoons or anime or anything else like that, come through on the Discord. The link is in the description. Or if you want to see me live doing it, come through on Twitch at BeautifulXNick. Quit playing with me like I don't say this every video. I know a lot of y'all may click on this and be like, wait, this ain't a reaction. I don't do just reactions, man. I do all types of things. I do my own music. I don't want to be reacting to all these people. I do my own music. If you're here for the reactions, you can leave. I'll wait. Oh, you actually want to stay and watch the video? Cool. Okay. Well, how you doing? Give me a handshake. I said, give me a handshake. I said, give me a handshake. Okay, whatever. But look, that's neither here or there. We here to talk about some cartoons. Just a bunch of random cartoons that I just like thought of while I was doing the research for this. You know what I mean? Just a bunch of random cartoons that some of y'all probably won't remember, because to be honest with you, I barely remembered them. to be honest with you. Now, hopefully y'all would have saw my cartoon video with the cartoon baddies. Apparently y'all didn't. I don't know why y'all didn't want to watch that. Maybe because it came out on 9/11. Maybe it was probably the wrong time to talk about cartoon baddies on a day where it was America's like probably worst history moments of all time, I guess. I wasn't aware. I uploaded it. I didn't even know what day it was, to be honest with you. So I can understand why you didn't see it. But now that that day has passed, you know, you can go see it now. You said no, it's too late now. Fair enough. I thought it was a good video. Maybe a little long drawn out, but I thought it was a good video. But here is some cartoons that I just thought of. I don't really see or think anybody even remembered any of these. So why don't I just do it? Because I am the king of watching random cartoons that nobody either remembers or knows. That's pretty much the basis of all these videos that are going to be coming out pretty soon. Growing up in the early and mid 2000s, they was just trying everything. Let's be honest here. They was just trying everything. Anything goes. It was a no holds barred match. No WWE. Shout out to the WWE. You know what I mean? When it comes to cartoons and people just trying to, I love it. I love it. Let's be honest. We were all here. We were here for the bad, horrible shows. There was a lot of good shows. There's just a lot of shows in general that you know, take the time out. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna sit up here and mention like the goats, like, you know, obviously Ed, Ed and Eddie, Jimmy Neutron, SpongeBob, you know, all the goats. Obviously, this is more catered towards shows that I'm pretty sure y'all barely remember or did not know. Some of y'all were probably born when this show came out. Really shows your age. Or really shows my age. I'm not old though, by any means. I'm hella young, honestly. I grew up, I'm in most sense, which I don't know why people think I categorize as this, but I do categorize as a Gen Z, even though I don't want to be. You know, so, but it is what it is. But look, first things first, some of these shows that I mentioned here may or may not be fire. This could be nostalgia just kicking in, but honestly, to be honest with you, a lot of these shows on this, I don't know if this is going to be a list or whatever, but a lot of these shows, like, thinking back to it, I can see why people don't talk about these shows anymore. So first, I want to mention Butt Ugly Martians. Oh, fuck! Now, if you don't know about Butt Ugly Martians, I want y'all to know in the early to, like, I would say probably the cutoff was probably 2010, because at that point, CGI was just barely getting started. You know, CGI was barely getting started. They was just getting used to the computer generated, like, types of stuff. Look, prime example, Toy Story. We all know how horrible Toy Story looks compared to now. A lot of things don't age, especially digitally. There's too many memes of Toy Story to follow. Yeah. And with that being said, on a lot of these cartoons that I will mention definitely did have horrible CGI. I'm not gonna even lie to you, but it did not really necessarily take away from the show. So the first one was Butt Ugly Martians. Now, if you don't know what Butt Ugly Martians is, basically it was a bunch of aliens. They were about to take over the Earth type ish. Came to Earth, got influenced by American culture. I don't know why they decided. I don't know where the show was based out of, but I don't know if they landed like in America. I don't even know where they were, but I just remember it was a bunch of aliens that were supposed to be evil. They came to on Earth and then just start intermingling with the culture, and now like they're doing wacky job stuff. You know what I mean? Basically, it was just like how Vegeta came down on Earth, got beat up by Goku, tried to leave, you know what I mean? Came back, he was like, damn, there was this chick named Bulma. She kind of bad. Had a whole family with her, this, that, and the third. Basically that's how that was. Now, if I remember correctly, I don't know if they had necessarily superpowers or not. I just remember the models of these characters, as you will see on the screen. Like, a lot of them definitely was like, you know what I mean? The CGI was not the best, but I thought it was a cool show at the time. Mind you, I was a kid. I was really watching anything. You know what I mean? You in the series of these videos, you will be able to tell that I just really was just watching anything, bro. I was just trying to watch everything. You know what I mean? And I'd be surprised. I get interested into a lot of things, just to be honest with you. You know what I mean? I just like cartoons. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was that story. I mean, like, honestly, like, Butt Ugly Martians, to what I remember, wasn't really bad. Would I watch it now? Absolutely not. But I think it was a good comedy type of show. I don't know, I forgot where it originally aired at. Probably should have did my research, but I'm pretty sure it was like one of the goats. I mean, like, honestly, let's be honest, we have the goats of these type of cartoons. The Saturday morning cartoons was just so different. You already know. If you know, you know. You got your Toon Disney's, you got your Kids WB, the Discovery Channel for those who was really unfortunate. Like, I pray for y'all. You know what I mean? The only time I really only watched the Discovery Channel was when I was going to the dentist. You know what I mean? I was down bad, but I wasn't down horrendous. At least I had cable. You know what I mean? I thank God that I had cable, bro. The Discovery Channel, Discovery Kids, whatever it was called. Shouts out to you. Obviously, you have the GOAT, Jetix. We all watch Jetix, bro. We all watch Jetix, bro. We all watch Jetix. A lot of these cartoons came on Jetix, bro. And Fox Kids. Simple as that. Next, we got Max Steel. So before I preference this, I know a lot of y'all probably don't know what Max Steel is. Or if you do know Max Steel, you probably know the newer version of Max Steel, which I believe it's on Disney Plus. And I also believe they had a newer version of the cartoon. I think it came out like in 2013. So yeah, they had a whole movie. Like they had a whole movie in 2016 with some dude. He looked like a TikToker. I'm not gonna even lie to you. I'm not gonna even lie to you. But that's neither here or there. The Max Steel I remember was the original Max Steel from the 2000 series. Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Once again, it had very bad CGI. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I actually, as a kid, loved this show. Not gonna even lie to you. Not gonna even lie to you. Not going to even lie to you. I remember waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get ready to go to school. You know, I was ready to go to school. I was, you know, sometimes I'll watch SpongeBob, and sometimes this show will pop up. This show literally popped up like right after Adult Swim was coming on. Yeah, that's how early I used to wake up. Y'all still wake up like that now, bro. And this show used to come on. This show was very fire. I definitely would say it was definitely fire for the time. CGI, like I said, was absolutely horrible. It was trash. If you don't know the premise of Max Steel, it's basically some kid living out his fantasy to be like Batman. Like he literally had kind of the same Batman. He had his backstory was basically like Batman, to be honest with you. I mean, the kid's parents was dead. He got adopted by his, like, I think stepdad or something like that. I don't know. I think his dad's best friend or something like that. I have no clue. You know what I mean? I don't remember. It's been a long time. But basically, the reason why I would say that it's a little bit better. It's not better than Batman. Don't get it twisted by all means. But it was cool for what it was. Because honestly, I had the toys for Max Steel, and I'm not gonna lie to you. For a kid that, you know, I grew up around a lot of girls. So, you know, Barbies, My Little Pony, all types of stuff. They was around, you know what I mean? But I liked Max Steel because the toys were absolutely fire. It was literally an action version of a Barbie toy. And he had his own like, you know what I mean, own type of swag to it. I'm not gonna lie to you, Max Steel was swaggy. He was swaggy for a cocky little teenager. Now, if you don't, like I said, I know I went off topic, but basically, like, he was like I said, he was basically like Batman, mixed with like rocket power. I think he was like really into like extreme sports, hence the title of the Max Steel. No, I think Max Steel came from his powers or something, which was also another crazy part. The reason why I can't really compare him to Batman, because like he had like superpowers or whatever, but I don't even really remember in the original show him really like displaying his like superpowers like that, because like most of the times I feel like he was just boxing people, like, you know what I mean, he was boxing people, bro. So like, you know what I mean. And also another thing about the show, Tony Hawk was in this show at one point in time. That's how lit this show was. Like, bro, Tony Hawk voice acted into this show, which is mad wild. So there's this other cartoon that I would like to bring up, since we're talking about, you know, mutants in outer space type stuff. But Lloyd in Space. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all, maybe some of y'all didn't really watch Lloyd in Space. I would say I definitely loved Lloyd in Space, but I'm not gonna lie to you. It was basically your random run-of-the-mill type of show. If y'all ever seen The Weekenders or Recess or Hey Arnold or any of these other Phineas and Ferb, all these other cartoons, that's basically what Lloyd in Space was. But it was different because it was like, well, in space. It was basically in space. It's kids doing kids things in space. It was about a alien named Lloyd, obviously. I don't know if they was like black or anything. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? When I typically think of Lloyd, I think of a black person, like, you know what I mean? Lloyd Banks, you know what I mean? Lil Lloyd, like Lloyd. you know what I mean? It has nothing to do with anything. Why'd I even mention that? But you know what I'm saying? But like, basically it was like this bad little kid that, you know, was doing hood rat things in space. You know what I mean? That was basically it. It was a cool little vibe show. You know what I mean? It would come on every time it come on. I would watch it. It was like one of those shows. Like I wasn't fiending to watch it, but it was more so like if it was on, I was gonna watch it. Now the characters were absolutely crazy. I believe they had like one regular actual human character in the show. For some reason it threw me off a little bit, because like why was he he was the only human there, but he was in outer space. I don't know what the deal was at. I don't even remember the kid's name, you know what I mean? But that's all I remember from that. Look, I mean, like I said, it was a cool show. I don't really see a lot of people talking about it though, you know what I mean? Like that. But if you have the chance to check it out, I don't know if it's on Disney Plus or not, but I would say if you really had nothing else to do and it's like an early Saturday morning, like I would say watch Lloyd in Space. You know what I mean? Another show that I also would say, well, you probably could watch, honestly, Teamo Supremo. Now, as I remember, Teamo Supremo was kind of like Mucha Lucha. If you never seen Mucha Lucha, then what are you doing watching this video? You not really watching cartoons. But Teamo Supremo, I think, was like a white man's version of Mucha Lucha, which sounds wild to say, but if you really think about it, I believe they were like, I don't know if they were necessarily wrestlers, but they were kind of like, you know, if y'all ever seen Kit but I still can't say that man's name right. Let me try again. If you ever seen Kit Butowski, just think about Kick Butt Butowski times 3, because there was like 3 of them. There was like 3 main characters. There was a chick and 2 dudes. You know what I mean? Definitely, like I said, it was like Mucha Lucha mixed with Kit Butt Butowski. They were basically out here fighting people and all types of other stuff. You know what I mean? Like from what I remembered, I thought it was pretty cool from it the time when it came out. You know what I mean? That was the closest thing I could think of to, you know, to compare it to anything. Now, next, I got this other show. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this is necessarily a forgettable show or a show like, be like, y'all remember the show, but it was more so like a show that I think low-key was kind of fire at the time that it came out. And I'm talking about Dave the Barbarian. Dave the Barbarian. Now, I know a lot of y'all looking at me and be like, what is a Dave the Barbarian? Let me tell you. Dave the Barbarian. Honestly, I think it was pretty cool. What am I talking about? So basically, the premise of the show of Dave the Barbarian was, so this man Dave's parents left their castle, I think it was, or something like that. That man his parents left the castle. They were just by themselves. He had like 2 sisters and I think like a grandpa or something that was like a wizard or something like that. Dave was like, you know, he was basically Johnny Bravo, but in barbarian times, but just 10 times worse. He was this big muscular dude, but he was really soft on the inside or in the outside, you know what I mean? His older sister was running the castle. I mean, I don't know if you could call her an antagonist or whatever. She was kind of like, I would say kind of like Dee Dee, a little, not Dee, she was like Dee Dee mixed with like Angelica. She was definitely like, she wasn't smart, but she also was just like kind of evil sometimes. Sometimes she was like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and then they had this other kid, the other sister that was like they treated her like a monkey. She was like a, you know, the typical random run-of-the-mill type of show. But overall, I would say if you want a good laugh, like a good little decent laugh, I think Dave the Barbarian give you that laugh. I think Dave the Barbarian could definitely give you that laugh, to be honest with you. And speaking of laughter, but also one of my favorite shows of all time, a show that I feel like a lot of people don't really be talking about every time I mention the show, Class of 3000.
Class of 3000, see?
Let me repeat this again. Class of 3000. Now, if you have never heard of Class of 3000, you're doing yourself a disjustice. This was one of the cartoons that came on Cartoon Network that I think a lot of people missed out on, in my opinion. And I'm not saying that because obviously the main person in Class of 3000 was Andre 3000. It was one of those cartoons like you would there was a lot of people in the early to mid 2000s that had their own cartoon. I mean, like the Olsen twins had their own cartoon. Lizzie McGuire had her own cartoon. I think Amanda Bynes was trying to get her own cartoon. All these celebrities and stars had their own cartoon, but nobody has done it better, in my opinion, than the man himself, Andre 3000. If you don't know the premise of Class of 3000, it was just Andre 3000 being a musical teacher trying to teach his kids music. That was it. That was it. But the reason why I say it's so fire is because literally every episode ended off with their own, like, each kid had their own music video, which I thought it was amazing. It was just a very cool, relaxing show to watch. And if you are a music head just like myself, it was definitely one of those type of shows to watch. It was just amazing. It was an amazing show. An amazing show.
So, shout I got that little D make a beat, make it hot back like a rabbit, Volkswagen, or a Cadillac. I'ma show you how to do a record contract.
I suggest people watch this show. You will be missing out if you have never seen Class of 3000. You know what I mean? In my opinion. Now, I know I say that, and then people will be in the comments or something and be like, but you still haven't watched Avatar! You still haven't watched Gravity Falls! So you want me to watch this? Yes. Class of 3000 is fire. Class of 3000 was fire, bro. They did their thing on Class of 3000. You know what I mean? Next, we have Yin Yang Yo. Now, I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about Yin Yang Yo. If you don't know about Yin Yang Yo, it was basically about ninja bunnies. Now, I know that sounds kind of weird, but trust me. It was like, if you ever seen Brandy and Mr. Whiskers, it was kind of like that a little bit, but in kind of Johnny Test-ish too, but with bunnies. Now, I know that probably might not make any sense, but it was a fire show, okay? It was about a bunch of ninja bunnies. I don't know if they were bunnies, but they looked like bunnies. I don't know. They could have been jackrabbits or something. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? But it was a pretty fire stuff. Pretty fire stuff. And speaking of fire stuff, there was this show I also had to remind y'all. Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce. Now, if you never seen Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce, that's a long name. I don't know. You know, in today's age, people will just abbreviate words and stuff. But if you haven't ever seen Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce, good thing, because I don't think the show was that. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I think the show, this was one of those shows where, like, it was definitely anime-esque. You know what I mean? Definitely anime-inspired. It was probably an isekai before any other isekai, you know what I mean? With the long names and stuff. But if you don't know about Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce, or SRMTH, which is what I'm going to call it from now on, it was basically about robot monkeys in like a Power Ranger type of setting, very anime-esque. The main character was named Chiro. I believe it was something like that. Very anime, like robot boy mixed with Astro Boy type ish. I think the concept was definitely fire. It had some lit episodes. The monkeys themselves were definitely fire. Like, I know that it was around this, it had a whole robot. Like, it was definitely a mech type of show. You know what I mean? They were mech inspired, cartoon type of show. But I thought it was pretty lit. Though. I thought it was pretty lit. The monkeys themselves kind of, honestly, high-key made the show. The monkeys themselves high-key made the show. They high-key made the show. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So next, I had to mention this show because I know for a fact that a lot of people did not watch this show. Or maybe they did and people just don't remember it. But I know that a lot of people didn't watch this show. If y'all ever seen How to Train a Dragon, this show definitely did inspire that how to train a dragon. Now I ain't gonna lie to you. But this show here, you can definitely tell that this show definitely inspired it. And it's called Dragon Booster. Now hear me out. If you ever watched the old Hot Wheels cartoon, definitely take that concept. It was basically racing dragons. That's basically what Dragon Boosters was. Very also I gotta say, very also kind of anime-esque. I wouldn't say it was as anime-esque as Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce, but it definitely was very anime-esque. Very like, how do I say this in the politest terms? Yeah, it was definitely one of those shows that McDonald's will definitely put on the back of the Happy Meal. Yeah, it was definitely one of those type of shows. It definitely was great marketing. I don't the show barely lasted long. I highly doubt a lot of people remember it. From what I remember from that show, I think it was kind of cool for what they was doing. I mean, like, it definitely had like some very serious moments. Definitely had some cool designs. I don't really remember the toys that came with it. I don't know if it ever had toys. The only reason why I even remember the show was because of the main character, and not even the main character, but the main character's dragon. Because it was basically like the main character's dragon was like a reverse like Lightning McQueen, like Cars type of ish. You know what I mean? So like it was an all red and blue dragon, like American flag MAGA-ish type of dragon, like low key if you really think about it. But overall it wasn't really a bad show per se, you know what I mean? It was definitely just one of those shows that you like, if you seen on TV, it was just like, okay, it was cool. Next, I have to so this is where things start to get a little bit complicated. I kind of put all three of these shows in the same category, but you can't really say that they all belong in the same category, because one was good, one was okay, and one was horrible. And it was notably horrible at the time. Like, I have to preface this once again. You got to understand that this was around the early to mid 2000s. Basically, this is like the before and after picture of like somebody losing weight or something like this. This is definitely comparable to this. But first show that I want to mention, which is I would say probably the worst one on this in this video, to be honest with you, Cubix. Now, for those who know or remember Cubix, it was one of the first, I would say, CGI shows that I remember watching that I was like, ew, what is this? It was definitely horrible. If y'all thought what is his name, Sid from Toy Story was bad, this was by far one of the worst. No, I take that back. There was one definitely worse than that, and reason why it's not even on in this video. I don't even want to mention that. But this was by far one of the worst like CGI shows to this day, to be honest with you.
You heard what I said. Let's go.
But my dad, I gotta.
Come on.
Stop.
Cubix, I will not lie though, the Cubix toys was definitely fire, but I would not watch this show ever again. Honestly, it was definitely, not even nostalgia could save this show. This show was definitely like not a good show. It was not a good show. It definitely screams this was early 2000s type of show. Thank God they're not doing shows like this no more. Thank God for the progression of technology. You know what I mean? Next, we got Zentrix. Now, Zentrix was like a show that I would watch on and off. I wouldn't say it was necessarily not entertaining. It was definitely the CGI was definitely way better in Zentrix than it was in Cubix. Even though you can argue and be like Cubix was the godfather for a lot of these like CGI robot type of shows, because let's be honest, a lot of these shows are very similar in a lot of sense. But Zentrix was one of those shows was like, if it was on, it was on, but I would stay to watch it. You know what I mean? I would stay to watch it. It was definitely a good show. Leading on from that, we got Eon Kid. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't even remember this show. And the reason why I say that, because I didn't even remember this show until after I was researching this. I was like, wait a second. I remember this show being a lot of heat. If you don't really know Eon Kid was definitely more anime-esque than Cubix and Zentrix combined. The CGI in this show, I would say is the best out of all three. Hands down, was the best out of all three of these shows. Very entertaining show. very Astro Boy-esque. If to put it into perspective, it was basically CGI Astro Boy, mixed with Robot Boy type ish. Definitely a fire show though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Definitely a fire show. If anything, he was basically like Zero. No, not even that. He was basically Zero from Mega Man, honestly. Let me not do that because that's disrespectful to Zero. But he was definitely like if there was like a bootleg version of Mega Man, Eon Kid definitely was that version. But it was a good version. It wasn't CG, it was a live action version, CGI version of Mega Man. And honestly, I would say it was a very fire show. Robot based. All these shows were definitely robot based, but I feel like this one in particular was probably the best one out of all three of these. So I gotta put it on here because the story I think was definitely fire. The designs, the character designs for this was definitely fire from the time. It definitely ran its course though. It was definitely short-lived, but I think it was a good show. And then leading up to the last show that I'm gonna be mentioning to here, I don't know if we're gonna do a part 2 to this or whatever. Who knows? Depending on how good this one does. If y'all really want a part 2, we'll see. I got a lot of other videos that will be coming out very soon though. Cartoon related, anime related, but you know, I wanted to do this one first to get it out the way, you know what I mean? Because I wanted to talk about a lot of shows that I feel like a lot of people don't really remember. Even me just mentioning the name, a lot of y'all are probably like, y'all don't even remember. That's why I got the pictures here or videos. Who knows how well I'm gonna edit this video. But for the last mentioned show on this list was definitely one that kind of took my ankles a little bit. It took my clavicle. You know what I mean? Kind of took my clavicle a little bit. A show that I don't remember coming out, but then when I looked at it, I was like, wait, this show was actually fire. A lot of y'all probably don't know what I'm talking about. And the show that I'm talking about is Pet Alien. I'm lying. And the show that I'm talking about is Loonatics Unleashed. Now, if you don't remember Loonatics Unleashed, I'm not surprised. Definitely was one of those under the radar shows. But I think this show was absolutely fire. It was pretty much Looney Tunes combined with Justice League put together. Just think about that for a second. Looney Tunes. This was like this is basically the cartoon Looney Tune versions of the Avengers. You know what I mean? Or of the Justice League, you know what I mean? This show was absolutely fire. Honestly, now I remember at this time, I believe like Teen Titans and a lot of these other, like, you know, Justice League was definitely popular around this time, or the anime series, Batman Beyond, all these other great series, X-Men Evolution, which I was gonna put on this list, but I was like, you know, nah, I'm pretty sure people remember this show. The show X-Men Evolution definitely was fire, but this definitely came out around those times where, you know, a lot of these shows were definitely popping, so it definitely was swept under the rug, under the radar. But to be honest with you, this show was actually really fire. This show was actually really fire for what it was. The characters were clean, you know what I mean? I don't know if there was the original, like, I don't know if it was like Bugs Bunny and like you know, Daffy Duck and all that, you know what I mean? You had the show like Duck Dodgers and all that other shows, but this show I feel like was the antithesis. Now I'm gonna stop using that word, but this show was like literally what I would say is a great combination of two mediums perfectly meshing together. Now I know it probably didn't get a lot of great views or whatever, but from what I remember, this show was being like, it was definitely fire. It definitely was like, if Teen Titans wasn't on, I definitely would watch this, bro. Or Justice League Ultimate, or you know, Batman Beyond, or Batman anime series. If none of those shows was on, I definitely would watch this show. This definitely was a Saturday morning cartoon type of show. I believe this show came on Kids WB, I believe, or it could have came on Jetix. It was one of those two. But definitely, it was definitely one of those shows that I was like, dang, low-key, this show kind of lit, bro. It definitely was kind of lit. It was definitely lit. So if you have the chance to watch, I don't know where it's at now. It could be on Disney Plus, I believe. I don't know if they own the rights to that or not, but it could be. If there's any way you can watch it, I would suggest to watch this on a Saturday morning with some milk and cereal, obviously, or cereal and milk, whichever way, you know what I mean? As long as you put in the cereal first before the milk. If you put the milk in before the cereal, you definitely are a cereal killer. You know what I mean? In GTA, of course, not really. You in real life, somebody needs to literally send you to jail. You need to go to jail if you do that. Sorry, but it's just the truth. But definitely wake up on an early Saturday morning if you ain't got nothing to do. You know what I mean? Go to your TV. You know what I mean? Make sure your shades are open. You know what I mean? You're getting the perfect morning sun, and get you a bowl of cereal and watch some Loonatics Unleashed, bro. I guarantee you, it's gonna be a great time. I guarantee you, it's gonna be a great time. So with that being said, that's the end of this video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Like I said, I love talking about cartoons. I love talking about cartoons that people don't even know or don't even remember or recollect unless I brought it up. Like I said, I'm not saying a lot of these shows was good, okay? But at the same time, you know, it's fun to remember the shows we grew up watching as kids, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. I just love talking about cartoons because I love talking about cartoons. I've consumed a lot of it, so I would at least know some things about I know a lot of y'all that watch it probably don't even remember some of these cartoons, but y'all gonna look them up, and that's all that I want, you know what I mean? Like, at least remember, like, oh, I remember watching this. I remember this, that, and the third, you know what I mean? At least the thought was planted in your brain with me saying that. And I probably brought you a little nostalgia. Probably good memories, probably bad. Who knows? You probably got your butt whooped while watching some of these shows. Who knows? I don't know, man. I hope you're not getting your butt whooped watching Teamo Supremo. You know what I mean? But I hope y'all enjoyed. Got some more videos on the way. Come through to the channel, the Nick X Beautiful channel if you want to watch some games. Follow my other channel, my music channel. You know what I mean? You know, when I start actually dropping music. I know I've been saying that. I definitely am that meme at this point when I say I'm gonna drop something and nothing drops. Trust me, I am working on stuff. I'm just a perfectionist, so I don't want to drop something that's gonna be trash. You know what I mean? Other than that, I got some, like I said, I got some other videos on the way, cartoon anime related. I think we're gonna release one every week, at least for the first 3 weeks that I got planned. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. I love y'all. Come through on the Twitch if y'all want to have debates on cartoons and all types of other stuff, or if you want to, you know, have some indulgent conversations on anime and stuff. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I love y'all. I'm out, baby.